Greetings, kids and nerds. I'm Lady Universe and I'm White Nudie. Now, here's something that you guys probably don't know about me, truthfully. That's okay. A lot of people probably don't know this about me, so that's alright. See, the reason why I wanted to see Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, or Shang-Chi, or however you pronounce it, I always say it's Shang-Chi, so wasn't the reason that it was a Marvel film. That's kind of the reason. But also that it was a martial arts film, since I'm a massive martial arts fan. I grew up on films such as Enter the Dragon, The Crow, several Jackie Chan films, and that's how I became so big and interested in the world of martial arts. Especially when I was in fifth grade, I even wrote a report, which we never got to do, unfortunately, where you dress up as the person that you were writing the report on, the famous person that changed history. I was writing it on Bruce Lee and how he had brought martial arts into the world, his famous filmography, and also the life and tragedy that he had. But unfortunately, that never came to be. Sad as that is. Maybe it was the school system at the time or something. I have no idea. But I am instead going to ask you guys. What if you think about a famous martial artist? If I ask you immediately, just think of a famous martial artist, what does your mind go to? Bruce Lee, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Tony Jaa, Michelle, Michelle Yun, Michelle Yao, Tony Leon, even even Sam Liu. Where did Xiao Yun Fat, Sammo Hun? Where did your mind exactly go to? Tony Shiba? Well, well. A lot of them are good guesses. A lot of you have probably already typed in whatever answer that you had. Chuck Norris, Jean-Claude Van Damme, Stephen Chow. But you're not naming the main man, myth, and legend. Oh no, there is someone even more famous than Bruce Lee, but his famousicism, yeah, we're going with that word, famousicism, his fame did not become so truthful up until the point of Bruce Lee and also this movie. Have anyone ever heard of the man known only as either Master Ip Man, or Ip One? Just throwing it out there. Anyone ever heard of Ip One? Pretty sure with the clip that I showed of him grabbing a man right by his leg and snapping his nuts like a Randy Savage snaps into a Slim Jim, probably made a bunch of guys all of a sudden just go, ow, or scream like little girls. You're welcome. Oh, hold on, let me just, there we go. Today I'm taking a look at Ip Man, or IP Man, Ip Man, Yip Man, just Donnie Yen film. I'm just gonna call it Ip Man if that's not the correct translation. I don't care. I don't speak I don't speak Chinese. I don't speak Japanese. I don't speak any fucking languages out there. Okay. So seeing a foreign film, I have to watch with subtitles. No, I did not watch this with the English dub. I don't even watch Shaolin Soccer or Kung Fu Hustle with the English dub. So there you go. So, Donnie Yen came back to the big screen with Ip Man back in 2008. The autobiography, if you will, of the story of the master behind Bruce Lee, Ip Man. It even says it right down there. So, we're going to be talking about this film and how good it is. And as a guy that sometimes loves autobiography films, this was pretty much interesting to me. And also the fact that Ip Man 2 and 3 and also the final chapter just keep getting recommended to me like crazy. Not from you guys, just in my own personal life. Like, it gets recommended to me countless dozen times. So if you guys have heard of Wing Chun, the legendary martial arts that Bruce Lee had first started before creating Jeet Kune Do, then congratulations, you know who Ip Man is. So this is a legendary tale of the legendary man who basically was a celebrity for introducing martial arts into the world long before Bruce Lee would reintroduce martial arts into the world. Which is kind of sad because when I was watching this, I kind of realized, and it's kind of sad, it's like, I realized that there is like a dying out of martial arts films, except with Monkey Man, which I really do want to see. That movie was so damn good, holy shit. But it's kind of like we had a dying out of not foreign films, but martial arts films. So hopefully with this video, maybe I can reintroduce people into talking about more martial arts films. So this is Donnie Yen's Ip Man. I'm going to give you guys the good, the bad, and just my own all opinions and retrospective on this amazing film. Which, by the way, before I jump into the review, how much do you guys think that I paid for this DVD of Ip Man here? Go ahead, give me a fair amount. All of you are wrong. $1.25 is what I paid for this at a Dollar Tree. I'm dead fucking serious, yo. Well, okay, with the tax, it was $1.37, but still, like $2 for this? That is a steal. So, anyways, let's jump on into Ip Man. The story is set in Foshan, China. The birth of martial arts and the martial arts generation had just began in China, and as you can see, everybody is doing martial arts. Where we are introduced to Ip Man, or Ip One, or Master Ip, who is basically the best credited martial arts and is the first and legendary kind of like not comedian. He's a world-renowned celebrity by this point because he brought martial arts into the world, and the birth of China with the martial arts generation had started thanks to him introducing Wing Chun to the world. And everybody keep telling him, you should open up more martial arts schools, you should try to resuscitate yourself, you should try to make yourself more of a well-known name, but he just wouldn't for the longest time. That is until 1935 of August 8th, when China was basically abducted by Japan invading it, starting the China-Japan War. And I think it's so tear-wrecking and tear-breaking to see a man that goes from this legendary martial artist scrapped down into the slums with his son and wife. The saddest thing about this is that I can kind of relate to this, where you're in a familiar place and you're in a familiar world, and then all of a sudden your life crumbles out from underneath you, and next thing you know, you're technically living in the slums or you're homeless. I get how this feels. And it really is encapsulated in a brilliant scene, in a brilliant moment, where his wife is trying to feed three people: herself, their son John, and Ip Man himself. And the amount of rice that she pours out from the pan into the bowl. Oh, dude, that is so fucking heartbreaking. It's just like you just see this, not even a pot full. It's not even a bowl full, and it's like, oh my lord. And it's like there are still people, and I feel bad for them that are doing this right now that go through this exact same damn thing, and it breaks my heart, knowing that. And I've been in this place where you're trying to find something, to eat, and all that you can scrap together is something very small. And not to make people feel bad, but you're looking at a guy who, with nothing else to eat, ate an entire bag, half a bag, not an entire bag, half a bag, a pretty decent sized bag of gummy worms, sour gummy worms for breakfast, just so he had something to eat. This is a guy who knew how to make a box of fucking Pop-Tarts last him to eat for breakfast, lunch, and for a fucking snack. Don't ask me how I did these things, I'm just telling you how this all went. I mean, that's actually true. So I can kind of relate to this in a way of like, yeah, you go from this grace of great height, where you are, a great person and everything, and then you're down into the slums and nobody even remembers who you are anymore, and it is insane. But I went through this, is what I'm trying to tell you guys, all in sincerity. Scout's honor, except I'm not a scout. But I've been through this type of torment and everything, and it just was so sad. It's also kind of sad that you see the transformation of him. Like he's this very well known celebrity. He's this guy that can get basically the entire world handed to him because of what he had done. But at the same time, he was neglectful towards his son and his wife. And I have to play the clip later on with the subtitles on of the wife. What she said later on is a very heartfelt message. But it's like this big transformation that he has of like being neglectful to them protecting not just his family, but the entire world of China. You know, it is so sad that you see this guy, he had the whole entire palm of the world in his hand, and therefore he had done for introducing martial arts into the world, but then later on he's reduced. I mean, sure, reduced to nothing, but then again, he got his wife and his son, and at least he didn't lose them, which that was something I was expecting him to actually lose later on in the film. To even reducing himself to work at a coal mine just so he could put food on the table for his wife and his son, dude, that is so heartfelt and heart-wrenching. To then, as you saw at the beginning, where he, yeah, would end up fighting for China and end up defending them against Japanese and the Japanese soldiers that would later on invade China. As if you want to talk about Chinese heroes and legends, he's probably the one that you'd have to speak of the first, because he was the one that brought China out from the China-Japanese war at the time. This is also a man that defended his wife and child from Japanese soldiers with the Japanese soldiers' intent to probably rape his wife. That is a loyal and heroic husband. And when the Japanese soldiers brought innocent people out there just to try to drive Ipwan out from wherever that he was hiding and out into the public's eye, he actually runs out in the middle of armed soldiers just to protect his people because he didn't want none of them to die and asked his friend to take his wife and son out of the city. And because of how famous that Ipman or Ipwan was at the time, is that the reason why he was abducted and sought after was because the Japanese general, General Muira, I'm pretty sure you pronounce that Mura, but I'm not quite sure if that's actually true or not. And it is a beautiful scene. It's like where and also that some of everyone's friends and fellow masters would end up being killed. So it brings out this rage in him, almost like basically like a Batman style, where it's like, I will fight for my people and everything. And this takes a huge amount of courage just to go up even to someone, even as big as a general. And if you think about it in a sense, especially for any armed soldiers out there probably watching this video, or any veterans, yeah, if you're gonna go up to a general and try to like talk down a general, you are pretty ballsy because a general is seen as a giant person in a sense, and yeah, he ends up actually talking down to him and thinking that like his karate, which I believe that would be Japanese martial arts, versus his Wing Chun would be far more superior than that. Well, you can guess, one of these men has a legacy, and the other does not, so you can guess who wins. But this brings me to one of my favorite points of this movie, and the transformation of his wife, Shen? I'm pretty sure his wife's name is Shen in this. And her transformation in this, which is great, because at first she was like a child. She threw tantrums when he would fight with people. She never was supportive of what he wanted to do. Like, you know how girlfriends and wives nowadays, or even just partners nowadays, like boyfriend, husbands nowadays, they are supportive of each other. So whatever that you do, the partner supports it. She wasn't very supportive of him. She would throw fit tantrums, and she would complain whenever that something in her house gets broken because, you know, martial arts fighting. But then she delivers this fantastic line. I might have to skip most of it, but it is a fantastic line and a really good transition of a character at being like, basically, this giant baby, so to speak. Like, she wants everything fine in the world, but yet she doesn't want to support what her husband does, and she spends more time with Zon, their son. That rhymed, and I didn't even know that it did. But then she delivers this really great line of the movie about how she feels about all of this. So, please enjoy. Which, yes, as you'd expect, the two martial artists have a great duo and everything, and the movie ends with sort of a disappointment. In my opinion, I didn't like how the movie really truthfully ended. Because he ends up getting shot in the arm, and I thought, oh my god, his legacy is gone, and that his legacy had died, and that someone else, like his mentor or somebody, carried on his legacy. But then I had to remember in the back of my mind, like, oh yeah, this was the guy that taught Bruce Lee, and Bruce Lee wasn't born by this point yet, so, yeah, never mind, but I still didn't really like how the film ended. Donnie Yen is superb in the role of Ip Man, and especially not too long ago on my own Facebook, I saw a picture of Ip Man plus how Donnie Yen performed his character, and he looks so much like him. It's a shame that as the older as Donnie Yen gets, it's kind of like the more famous that he becomes, which is kind of weird if you really think about it. But I did have to say that I did like Ip Man, but the problem is it does have some flaws and notable ones. For one thing that I wish that it would do, because this is a martial arts movie, but no, it's not the full driving point, is that I wish that this had more fight scenes in it. In truth, there's only like 6 fight scenes off the top of my head that were in this movie. The movie mostly is a more autobiographical range, and that's not a bad thing for a film like this. It's just that I wish that there was more fight scenes. The fight was choreographed by fellow martial artist Sammo Hung, who does an amazing job with the fight sequences, I think. He also worked with Jackie Chan and also Jet Li in several films. So if you were expecting Chen Woping in this, or Yao Woping, you're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get like Kill Bill Matrix style martial arts battles. But for what Sammo Hung had done, he did done pretty well. The action is pretty good, and also I have to say that for the acting, especially for the Chinese department, it's very well done. Donnie Yen instantly stole the show, but the one that I really mostly liked were the police captain Lee, and also I really did like uh, Chen in this, Ip Man's wife. By the way, am I pulling this right out of my ass? But Lee and Liu, is that a reference? Because there was one that was the last name Lee, spelled Li, similar to Jet Li, and Liu, spelled very similar to Sam Liu's last name. Am I pulling nothing out of my ass, or did they really name them after two very famous martial artists? I'm surprised they didn't have one named Chan, or one named Lee that looks like Bruce Lee, because there are several lookalikes like that. Or just have Bruce Lee's daughter Shannon be in it. I mean, she's an actress. But in any circumstance, Ip Man is pretty fantastic. And which brings me to my Funko Pop rating of this, which is kind of difficult for me, but I think I've chosen a good one. My Funko Pop rating of Ip Man is going to be a Phoebe from Ghostbusters. It's something new, but with the touch of nostalgia. You can still see the martial arts film inspiration with this, and it also has something new on it, with that it's an autobiography plus a martial arts film. So Ip Man gets the credit of the Funko Pop rating of a Phoebe from Ghostbusters Afterlife, or the Frozen Empire, your pick. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me at Twitter with a link in the description down below. And let me know what you think about Ip Man. Do you think it's a great martial art movie? Do you think it's a great martial arts biography? Or do you think it's like one of the worst films that you've ever seen? Let me know in the comments down below. And also, if you have seen Ip Man 2, 3, and 4, the final chapter, let me know if the films do get any better. Just out of curiosity, because this one was good, but it was still flawed, like I said. So thank you guys so much for watching this Lady in the Most Movie Review. I've been Review. I've been new to keep eking on. And as always, guys, thank you for watching this Lady in the Most Movie Review. And until next time, and as always, keep eking on. And until next time, and as always, take care.